Alright, before we actually get into it, I already know what, like, 50% of you are gonna say. What do you mean you've never seen Silence of the Lambs? What do you mean? Believe me when I say there's nothing you can say right now that I haven't already said to myself in shame that it has taken me this embarrassingly long to watch this movie, because not only is this an iconic horror film, but I think this is also just culturally regarded as one of the best films ever, and it has two of the greatest to ever do it. Jodie Foster and Anthony Hopkins, two of the greats in what I would argue, even though I haven't even freaking seen the movie, but culturally, again, what I think are regarded as some of the best, you know, highlight roles in their respective careers. Listen, I can't justify this. The only excuse I possibly can grasp at is that I am Gen Z, in spite of my freaking best efforts. So at the end of the day, I'm gonna blame it on that and the fact that, yes, this is an extremely popular, famous, like, one of the best movies ever. Again, am I making that up? I don't think so. Yes, okay, I'm not just spreading misinformation. This is the IMDb top 250 movies list, and Silence of the Lambs here is ranked top 23. Like, in the top 25, that's on me, okay? Like, this is obviously just culturally must see, and I've held out for this embarrassingly long, but it's fine because this means that I can get my freaking reaction to it. So that's what the frick we're gonna do today. I think this one is also based on real events, which I explained to you guys. It's the plausibility aspect that is what keeps me up the most at night, knowing that it's not necessarily fake. And yes, these are fictional characters. I know who Hannibal Lecter is. I know who Clarice is. I went into this thinking that this was perhaps going to be more like true crime, thrilling, psychological thriller, you know, not necessarily all-out gore. To my knowledge, I don't know, but all I know is that the way people talk about this movie, like, my family is obsessed with this movie, which is why it's so shameful that it has taken me this long to finally watch it. But the way my family remarks on this movie, they make it sound like it is very disturbing, unsettling, unnerving, which can be more impactful and more jarring than just straight up blood, guts, and gore and all of that. You know, that's very fleeting, but this, I think, will be one of the, you know, honorable mentions here on our roster that actually sticks with you. You know, it lingers in your subconscious after the fact. So, I don't know, team. I tried to think of one that would be easy to watch this week because I'm going camping and I cannot run the risk of watching something like slashery, serial killer-y, even though I know that Hannibal Lecter is, I think, a serial killer, but I figured, I don't know, psychologically this might be safer for me. I could be freaking regretting that. I mean, I just got off the phone with my mom and I told her I was watching this today and she goes, "Oh, Catherine, I think that might make you really upset." Like, I'm fully grown, by the way. Anyway, well, this will be a test. Am I? I don't know. I could be coming out on the other side a completely changed woman. So, similarly to how I felt with Exorcist, though, like, I feel like I'm just genuinely excited in this moment to finally be watching, because this is such a culturally relevant, iconic film, not just within its category, the genre of horror, but again, top 25 films best ever of all time, according to IMDb. Like, that's saying something. So it'll be worth whatever unsettling nervousness, self-induced anxiety, and insomnia I, you know, am subjecting myself to here. But it's fine. I've already lost sleep this month. Just add this one to the list. An FBI cadet gets help from a cannibal to catch a killer. Great. All right, I'm just sitting through all the ads right now, but one thing I genuinely am actually really excited and will be looking forward to with this one is the performances, the acting, the dialogue. You know, I am genuinely excited for this story and how gripping it seems to be based on the way people talk about this movie. So that's what I'm looking forward to the most, which will hopefully be consolation amongst all the other terror of it all. This is already ominous, but I'm genuinely excited right now, truly. Oh, that's right, she's an FBI cadet. She's doing the parkour. Would not be able to do that. Impressive. Hurt, agony, pain. Love it. Howard Shore did the music? Okay. Didn't know that, but that is freaking hype. Oh, I've definitely seen that shot though of her amongst all the men.
Starling, sorry to pull you off the course at such short notice.
My job's come up and I thought about you.
See, double major, psych and criminology, graduated magna. When you graduate, you want to come to work for me in behavioral science.
Yes, very much, sir. Very much.
We're interviewing all the serial killers now in custody for a psychobehavioral profile. You spook easily, Starling?
Not yet, sir.
See, the one we want most refuses to cooperate. I want you to go after him again today in the asylum. The psychiatrist, Hannibal Lecter.
He's just like fine.
Copy of our questionnaire and a special ID for you.
Lecter's been in prison for so many years now. Is there some connection between him and Buffalo Bill?
Be very careful with Hannibal Lecter. And you're to tell him nothing personal, Starling. Believe me, you don't want Hannibal Lecter inside your head. But never forget what he is.
Oh, he's a monster. Pure psychopath. From a research point of view, Lecter is our most prized asset.
I didn't know he was a psychiatrist, so that means he can mess with her.
This can be quite a fun town if you have the right guide.
Ugh.
My instructions are to talk to Dr. Lecter and report back this afternoon.
Tried to study him, of course, but he's much too sophisticated for the standard tests. Crawford's very clever, isn't he, using you? Pretty young woman to turn him on.
I graduated from UVA, Doctor. It is not a charm school.
Good, then you should be able to remember the rules.
True, though. Was that what the demographic of his victims
do not
is?
approach the glass. You pass him nothing but soft paper. No pencils or pens. If he attempts to pass you anything, do not accept it.
The protocol. Sweet lord.
On the afternoon of July 8, 1981, he complained of chest pains. His mouthpiece and restraints were removed for an EKG. When the nurse leaned over him, he did this to her. Doctors managed to reset her jaw, more or less, save one of her eyes. His pulse never got above 85, even when he ate her tongue.
Oh! Forgot about that aspect. The cannibalism.
Hi, I'm Barney. He's past the others. The last cell. I'll be watching. You'll do fine.
He's an artist, all right.
Good morning. You're one of Jack Crawford's, aren't you?
I am, yes.
Closer, please. Closer. That expires in 1 week. You're not real FBI, are you? Jack Crawford sent a trainee to me.
I'm here to learn from you.
That is rather slippery of you, Agent Starling. Sit, please.
He's so good. I'm like hypnotized right now.
You use Evian skin cream.
Did you do all these drawings, Doctor?
Ah, that is the Duomo scene from the Belvedere.
Okay, that's actually really impressive.
You know, Florence, memory, Agent Starling, is what I have instead of a view.
Perhaps you'd care to lend us your view on this questionnaire, sir.
Ham-handed segue into your questionnaire. Jack Crawford must be very busy indeed if he is recruiting help from the student body. Busy hunting that new one, Buffalo Bill. Why do you think he removes their skins? Throw me with your acumen.
His eyes, I can't stop looking at
Excites
them.
him. Most serial killers keep some sort of trophies from their victims.
I didn't.
No.
You ate them.
No, you ate yours.
Oh god. Oh god. I'd be so freaking scared.
Oh, Agent Starling, you think you can dissect me with this blunt little tool?
I thought that your knowledge...
You're so ambitious, aren't you? Good nutrition's giving you some length of bone, but But you're not more than one generation from poor wire trash, are you, Agent Starling?
Alright, the messing with her has already begun.
But you could only dream of getting out, getting anywhere, all the way to the end of the beeline.
You see a lot, Doctor. Why don't you look at yourself and write down what you see?
Don't crack. You've got this.
A census taker once tried to test me. I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
Only reason I know that quote is from Dumb and Dumber. Thanks to that.
You fly back to school now, little Starling.
I know exactly what's going to happen. This is giving me Major Mindhunter vibes, which is one of the best shows ever, but she's going to fall into the same trap of this obsession. I think the addiction.
I bit my wrist. Look at the blood!
Ew.
Agent Starling! Come back! Agent Starling! Agent Starling!
I'll give you a chance for what you love most.
What is that, Doc?
Advancement, of course. Listen carefully. Go seek out Miss Moffat, an old patient of mine. M-O-F-E-T. Go now. Go now!
Well, their interest in each other is certainly mutual. I was gonna say the obsession is going to develop. There's something intoxicating for these FBI people to psychologically analyze. Like Mindhunter, he couldn't get enough. He became friends with all of these people, the serial killers.
FBI, hands up! Don't move!
You're dead, Starling. Starling, where's your danger area?
In the corner, sir.
Did you check the corner?
No, sir.
That's the reason you're dead.
Oh, this is also perfect. They're clearly establishing that she is one of the few women in a male-dominated environment right now. She has an opportunity here. Oh, this could be mutually beneficial for both of them, her and Mr. Hannibal.
Sir?
Miggs is dead.
Dad.
They found him at bed check. He'd swallowed his own tongue. Lecter did it to amuse himself. He mentioned a name at the end. Moffat.
There's no record of anyone named Moffat, but I figured he's from Baltimore. Your self-storage facility right outside of downtown Baltimore, sir.
The contract is in the name of a Miss Hester Moffat.
Yes, I won't disturb anything, I promise. I'll be out of here before you know it.
Oh god, what are they gonna friggin' find on here? This was a former patient of his, though? What do you friggin' do if you learn that your psychiatrist, the one who's giving you medical treatment, is, why is he sending her on this Easter egg hunt, though? He scoffed at her questionnaire, but he's sending her out into the field. Why does it look like a giant coffin under there? Oh, it's a car. Check your corners, girl. Check your blind spots. Oh! What the what? What the frick?
It's an anagram, isn't it, Doctor? Hester Moffat, the rest of me.
So he's just playing with her. He's sending her out on this little treasure hunt, but...
Thank you.
Your bleeding has stopped.
Dr. Lecter, whose head is in that bottle?
Why don't you ask me about Buffalo Bill?
Why don't we talk about Miss Moffat? You wanted me to find him.
Benjamin Rasbell, a former patient of mine. I did not kill him, I assure you, merely tucked him away very much as I found him.
Huh.
After he'd missed 3 appointments.
Best
thing for him, really. His therapy was going nowhere. And I just think of him as a kind of experiment, a fledgling killer's first effort at transformation.
What happened to your drawings?
Punishment, you see, for Miggs. Dr. Chilton does enjoy his petty torments. I've been in this room for 8 years now, Clarice. I know they will never ever let me out. I want a window where I can see a tree, to be in a federal institution far away from Dr. Chilton.
What did you mean by fledgling killer? Are you saying that he's killed again?
I'm offering you a psychological profile of Buffalo Bill. I'll help you catch him, Clarice.
You know who he is, don't you?
all good things to those who wait. Our little Billy must already be searching for that next special lady.
This is... Well, I guess rather Mindhunter is just like this. Reaching out to incarcerated serial killers because they're the only ones whose brains operate the same way as the active, you know. I'm liking this more than I thought it would, team. I'm very interested. Does it get worse from here? I'm sure. I don't know. Oh yeah, I guess it does get worse. No, don't. Resist it. I know what you're thinking. Don't.
Can I help you with that?
Would you?
Sure.
I got it this far, I just can't get it up in the truck. Here, scratch it. Oh,
No.
I really appreciate it.
No.
Thank you.
Don't get in.
Yeah, push it all the way down. Hey, say, are you about a size 14?
Sorry.
Good.
Alright, throwback to when I said it's probably gonna get worse. Well. Was he the same person as the one with the frickin' binoculars, though?
Saddle up, pack your field gear. You're moving out, you go with Crawford.
Where?
Found a girl's body down in West Virginia. Looks like a Buffalo Bill type situation.
Keeps them alive for 3 days. We don't know why. Then he shoots them, skins them, and dumps them. This new one today washed up here.
Oh, he's a white male. He's not a drifter. He's got his own house somewhere, not an apartment. What he does with them takes privacy. He's cautious, precise. Got a real taste for it now, and he's getting better at his work.
She's freaking smart.
Not bad, Starling.
That's why you sent me in there, isn't it? To get his help on Buffalo Bill, sir?
If I'd sent you in there with an actual agenda, Lecter would have known it instantly. He would have toyed with you, then turned to stone.
Fair. He already read her like a book. He knows her kryptonite. I think he's already found ways to not exploit her, but he knows her weaknesses, I think.
Sheriff Perkins, Jack Crawford, FBI. This type of sex crime has certain aspects I just as soon discuss in private.
Oh god. They're really rubbing it in here. See, I think Hannibal knows that C sees right through and knows that this is what bothers her, which is why whenever he sees that she's letting her guard down and gets vulnerable, this is what he taps into and questions. He's weaponizing this insecurity against her. It does feel a little bit, strange that they're having this rendezvous at the funeral home. Anybody with expertise, let me know if that's normal. Oh no, she's having a vision. Is that her father? Yeah.
Oscar, fetch Dr. Akins from the chapel.
Yes, sir. Starling, we're back here. Stand by for transmission.
Tell me that's what I think it's for. To block out the smell?
Doctor, Lamar, let's take a look at her. Okay, Starling. Lord Almighty.
I like that so much better. Like, sometimes you can just convey more without showing it. Oh, never mind, they are showing. God. Oh my god.
2 of her fingernails are broken off, and it looks like she's tried to claw her way through something.
Let's do that.
Poor photographer.
She's got something in her throat.
No. No. I think it's gonna be a clue. It's gonna be a little message to the FBI. The police. Oh, that. Never mind. Never mind. Oh. Jesus Lord.
Here's the
Cocoon?
seed pod.
That's a bug cocoon.
It was found behind the soft pallet of a murder victim. The body was in the Elk River, West Virginia.
It's Buffalo Bill, isn't it?
Let's check morphology.
Something's gonna burst out of it.
Meet Mr. Acherontius Styx, better known to his friends as the Death's Head Moth. Somebody grew this guy, fed him honey and nightshade. Somebody loved him.
What the F? Well, that explains the poster I've seen all my life. I've always wondered why there's a moth over her, what that has to do with it. Oh wait, what the frick? Are we in the belly of the beast right now? Is this the moth caretaker in question? Oh fudge it is. Oh, that. Sorry. Oh shoot.
Good morning.
Catherine Martin, now believed to have been kidnapped by the serial killer known only as Buffalo Bill. Young Catherine Martin, as we've said, is the only daughter of U.S. Senator Ruth Martin. Just moments ago, Senator Martin takes this dramatic personal plea.
Catherine is very gentle and kind. I know you can feel love and compassion.
Questionable.
To treat Catherine better than the world has treated you. My daughter is Catherine.
Boy, that's smart.
Release her unharmed.
Sees Catherine as a person and not just an object. It's harder to tear her up.
Please.
Name's Catherine, y'all.
I am not just some turnkey, Miss Starling.
Will you let me do my job? You understand?
Get him!
If your profile helps us catch Buffalo Bill, the senator promises you a transfer. 1 week, the year, you get to leave the hospital and go here.
It's a little bold, isn't it?
Plum Island. And there you have it.
He's real intrigued.
Catherine Martin dies, you get nothing.
If I help you, Clarice, it will be turns with us too. I tell you things, you tell me things. Not about this case, though. About yourself. Quid pro quo.
She better not crack. I feel like she might though, y'all.
Yes and no, Clarice. Poor little Catherine is waiting.
Go, doctor.
It's freaking me out that her name's Catherine, and they keep saying
What's
it.
your worst memory of childhood?
No, stop it. Do not.
Death of my father.
No.
Tell me about it and don't lie, or I'll know.
One night he surprised 2 burglars coming out the back of a drugstore. They shot him. It lasted more than a month. My mother died when I was very young, so...
Look at him. He's absorbing all of it.
He's
gonna use it against you.
I think it would be quite something to know you in private life.
Quid pro quo, doctor. She had an object deliberately inserted into her throat.
Was it a butterfly?
Yes, a moth.
The significance of the moth is change. Our belly wants to change too. After your father's murder, you were orphaned. What happened next?
Stop!
I went to live with my mother's cousin and her husband in Montana. They had a ranch. I ran away.
Why, Clarice?
Quid pro quo, doctor. And you said that I was very close to the way we would catch you. What did you mean, doctor?
There are 3 major centers for transsexual surgery. I wouldn't be surprised if Billy had applied for sex reassignment and been rejected.
Our Billy wasn't born a criminal, Clarice. Billy hates his own identity, you see, but his pathology is 1,000 times more savage.
It rubs the lotion on its skin. It does this whenever it's told. It rubs the lotion on its skin or else it gets the hose again.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Now it places the lotion in the basket. Places the lotion in the basket.
I want to see my mommy.
His lips quivering. Does he have a little bit of emotion?
Put the fucking lotion in the basket!
Oh, F-team. Oh, jeez. They talked about the claw marks. The other victim. She tried to climb. Frick.
You still think you're gonna walk on some beach and see the birdies? No, they scammed you.
I don't think you left your pen unattended, sir.
Deal with Senator Martin, but there is now. Identify Buffalo Bill by name. Senator Martin will have you transferred to Brushy Mountain State Prison in Tennessee. You answer me now, or by God, you'll never leave this.
His first name is Louis. I'll tell the rest of the senator herself, but only in Tennessee.
Clean him up and get him ready to go.
Alright, that pen's definitely gonna be used against that man. Oh, okay, I forgot about that mask. I have seen that before.
Sir, the sign right here will have us a legal transfer.
No! The pen, dude! He's got it. He's got it.
Sir, use
Oh, Jesus, no. No, 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 no. Oh. I feel like this is breaking all sorts of protocol. This is not... They're all gonna regret this.
Senator Martin, Dr. Hannibal Lecter.
I brought an affidavit guaranteeing your new rights.
I won't waste your time or Catherine's time bargaining for petty privileges. Let me help you now, and I will trust you when it is all over. Buffalo Bill's real name is Louis Friend. I met him just once. He was referred to me by my patient Benjamin Raspel. They were lovers, you see. Apparently, Louis had murdered a transient and done things with the skin.
We need his address.
Tell me, Mom, when your little girl is on the slab, where will it tickle you?
What the frick?
Take this thing back to Baltimore.
Yeah, no, y'all, this was wishful thinking.
He'd be about 35 now. He said he lived in Philadelphia, but may have lied. Oh, and Senator, just one more thing. Love your suit.
You do know the rules, ma'am?
Yes, Lieutenant Boyle. I've questioned him before.
Go ahead.
Good evening, Clarice. Did Jack Crawford send you for one last wheedle before you're both booted off the case? Anthrax Island. That was an especially nice touch, Clarice. Yeah. That was good. Pity about poor Catherine, though. Tick-tock, 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 tick-tock.
You were telling me the truth back in Baltimore, sir. Please continue now.
Everything you need to find him is right there in those pages. What does he do, this man you seek? What is the first and principal thing he does? What needs does he serve by killing?
Sexual frustration, sir.
No. He covets. And how do we begin to covet, Clarice? We begin by coveting what we see every day.
All right, yes. Now please tell me how.
She's desperate to... She knows she can learn so much from him.
It's your turn to tell me, Clarice. Why did you leave that ranch?
Please listen to me. We've only got 5...
No. I will listen now. You went to live with cousins on a sheep and horse ranch in Montana.
And one morning I just ran away.
Not just, Clarice.
I heard a strange noise. Screaming. I crept up into the barn. I was so scared to look inside, but I had to.
What did you see?
Lambs. They were screaming. First I tried to free them. I took one lamb and I ran away as fast as I could.
Where were you going, Clarice?
I thought if I could save just one, but he was so heavy. I didn't get more than a few miles when the sheriff's car picked me up. The rancher was so angry, he sent me to live at the Lutheran orphanage in Postman.
What became of your lamb, Clarice?
I killed him.
You still wake up sometimes, don't you? And hear the screaming of the lambs.
Yes.
And you think if you save poor Catherine, you could make them stop, don't you? You think if Catherine lives, you won't wake up in the dark ever again. To that awful screaming of the
Oh god, he's good. Forgot, he's a freaking psychological professional, y'all.
Thank you, Clarice.
Oh frick, he just like fed off of her.
Bye, Clarice.
No. Oh jeez, does she think that he gave a fake? He's leading everybody on with a fake name? Oh god. Oh! Because what is he gaining there from? Oh god, no, y'all.
Just another minute, please.
Demanded a second dinner. Lamb chops, extra rare.
What the? Oh, Mary Mother. Oh. How the heck did you get that? Oh, team. Oh.
Same drill as before, please.
Okay, he's not gonna hurt them with that, but that's his way to, hack out of the handcuffs. What's this game plan, though? Me questioning, what's the serial killer's game plan when he finally gets free after almost a decade? Oh, team. Okay, never mind, they are, he is going to hurt them.
Mind the drawings, please.
He respects her, though. To make that portrait? Drawn perfectly from memory? Like, you don't draw a portrait that beautiful if you don't hold somebody in high esteem. That's all I'm gonna say. As an art major. Oh. Team. Oh. You're telling me this is our front lines? This is the best of the best that we got watching this man? Oh, oh good night. I just don't understand. I'm finding this just a little bit hard to believe that this was a maximum security prisoner and they only had these two fools watching him. Where's backup? Where's the rest of the front lines? Where's everybody else? Oh great.
Ready when you are, Sergeant Emery.
Seal off a 10-block radius. Give me the SWAT team and an ambulance double quick.
Yeah. Look how freaking mortified everybody is. Oh. Well, there's the other half of his artistic abilities.
Oh God!
Oh my God! Oh Jesus! Oh hello. Well.
He's alive. Sergeant Tate. He's alive.
Lecter's missing and armed.
Remember, can you hear me? You look real good there.
You look real good. That's I'll be real, team. I did not think he was gonna get out. I'm just a little bit flabbergasted that they were this laissez-faire.
We think he's on too.
Oh. Oh, team. Wait, what? Has he been hiding in the walls and the crawl spaces? Okay, alright, there's the militia that we needed in the first place, y'all.
I see him. There's a gun by his hand. He's not moving.
Oh, wait. Oh, team. Oh, Jesus. Oh my God. Oh.
We found the ambulance in a parking garage at Memphis Airport. By now he could be anywhere.
He's coming.
He won't come after me.
Oh, really?
He won't. He would consider that rude. She's dead.
It's not your fault it worked out like this. Is this Lecter's handwriting? Doesn't this random scattering of sight seem desperately random?
Desperately random. What does he mean? They're even found in random order.
Random because of the one girl.
Third body found. Why?
Well, she didn't drift. He weighted her down.
What does this guy do? He covets.
We covet what we see.
Every day.
God damn, Clarice.
He knew her.
I am genuinely curious, though. She's confident he won't come for her, and I do kind of believe that, but what the frick is his move gonna be? You know, he had no reason necessarily to give her any further answers, and he'd already been guaranteed he's keeping her on the trail, but...
Mr. Bimmel?
That's me.
Oh, I'm Clarice Starling. I sure appreciate you letting me take a look around, Mr. Bimmel.
Frederica went into Chicago on the bus to see about a job. She never come home. Her bedroom's how she left it.
He's making himself a woman's suit, Mr. Crawford, out of real women.
Starling, we know who he is and where he is. We're on our way right now.
Subject's name is Jamie Gumb, a.k.a. John Grant.
Well, Chicago's only 400 miles from here. I'll be there in...
No, Starling. I need you to link him to the Bimmel girl before he's indicted. See what you can dredge up in Belvedere. Starling, we wouldn't have found him without you. Nobody's gonna forget that.
Finally, she's getting the credit she deserves. I like to believe that her superior here always actually believed in her.
Stacy, did Frederica ever mention a man named Jamie Gumb?
No way. She had a guy I'd have known, believe me. Sewing was her life. Oh, sure, me and Pam Malavasi used to help her do alterations for old Mrs. Littman.
Can you give me Mrs. Littman's address? I need to talk to her.
Why do I feel like they're gonna botch this?
Down here, you sack of shit!
Okay. Girl, don't do anything rash. They're literally right there.
She's in a lot of pain, mister. She needs a vet.
Don't you hurt my dog!
Don't you make me hurt your dog!
Go any slower, please. It's so bizarre. It's an unassuming house. Girl! Just wait like 1 second, they're right outside. This is about to piss me off. Oh. It's not much better upstairs, y'all.
Good afternoon. I'm looking for Mrs. Littman's family.
Wait, what the frick?
No, Littmans don't live here anymore.
Wait, what the frick?
Excuse me, sir.
Holy.
Well, I'm investigating the death of Frederica Bimmel.
Oh my god. She's the smartest one.
There's no one here, Jack. Clarice.
Your name is?
Jack Gordon.
Mr. Gordon.
Yeah, I miss. No, I read about her in the newspaper. Mrs. Littman had a son, though. Maybe he could help you. I got his card in here someplace.
Don't go in, don't go in. Oh. Holy. Oh, the way they did the bait and switch. That's incredible. That's brilliant. This.
Close to catching somebody, you think?
Yes.
We're very close.
We may be.
We're right on his tail, actually.
Yeah, I bought this house 2 years ago.
Did she leave any records, any tax forms?
Check your corners. Check your corner. Check your corner. Oh, girl. Okay. Don't blow your cover.
May I use your phone, please?
Sure, you can use my phone.
Freeze! Put your hands over your head and turn around. Spread your legs. Put your hands in the back. Thumbs up. Freeze!
No. Oh god. I can't believe this. Check your corner. Check your corners. Come on. Oh, team. Oh, he's gonna kill the girl. I'm gonna be real honest, y'all. I did not think this was gonna be that intense. This was all gonna be psychological. This is... My heart's racing. No. Into the funhouse. No. Please, for the love of God, check your corner. Please. Oh, jeez. Oh, God. Check your corner.
Catherine Martin? Yes! FBI! You're safe!
I hope. Okay, this is good. Just clearing all the rooms.
this room. I'll be right back.
No! Don't you leave me here, you fucking bitch! No! Don't you leave me here! I gotta get out of here! Catherine! The other officers will be here any minute now!
Holy. Oh, Jesus. I'm getting lightheaded, y'all. I'm breathing so heavy. I'm like. I'm about to be not operating on all cylinders. I'm not getting enough oxygen to my brain now. I gotta breathe. Oh my Jesus. No, 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 no. Oh, Jesus, Mary and Joseph. No, 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 no. 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 No, what? That's so clutch. Oh. Oh, yeah.
Agent Starling, how did you track Buffalo Bill to this address?
Clarice M. Starling.
Congratulations.
Oh, I have chills, y'all. Where's Hannibal, though? He's still out there. I'm assuming.
Just wanted to say congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Crawford.
Your father would have been proud today. Don't forget your phone call.
It's Hannibal on the line, y'all.
Starling.
Well, Clarice, have the lambs stopped screaming? I have no plans to call on you, Clarice. The world's more interesting with you in it. So you take care now to extend me the same courtesy.
You know I can't make that promise.
I do wish we could chat longer, but I'm having an old friend for dinner.
Oh. Oh my God. Literally.
Dr. Lecter.
Oh my God. I've been wanting to check behind me for the past, like, 5 minutes. Whoa. Oh, God. Oh, okay. Alright. Oh, breathe. Breathe. Oh, my God. I'm so lightheaded, team. I haven't taken a deep breath. That was so good. Ooh, oh my God, why did I never watch this, guys? What? I'm trying not to pass out right now. Okay. God, I was on the edge of my seat. Oh. Okay, this is my... I hate that this is my initial instinct because I know it's very telling. It's very revealing to be like, oh my God, I want a freaking sequel because yes, I'm sorry, I'm a product of the times I freaking live in, y'all, where freaking everything gets a sequel and nothing gets to just be brilliant and amazing in one shot anymore. And that's what this is. I mean, oh, The fact that he freaking gets out, y'all, like, the beginning of this, because of such severe, all the freaking protocol, everything's so serious, all the security measures she had to go through just to sit across from him. Again, I know I said it originally, but just to sit in a chair across from his bulletproof glass wall that had like 3 holes for oxygen. That was one assurance that I was internally telling myself when this all started, like, well, no matter what, this man's not getting out of here. I mean, they have this place pretty much down on lock. And yes, I don't know necessarily how to describe the emotion that it, you know, conjured in me, whether that be, I don't know, some form of pity or sympathy maybe, when he's expressing that he's never seen anything beyond these 4 walls, you know, for the past decade practically, and all he freaking wants is to see just a tree, the sky, fresh air, anything, you know, like, to have to create your own artwork, to decorate, you know, your surroundings, to try to, you know, have any sort of concept of reality, concept of the outside world, because this is all that you know. Like, you can only imagine, right? You can only fathom. And yes, I'm not saying he deserved to be free, but I'm saying all I felt in that moment of pity and sympathy for him, like, well, that sucks, that's sad, but you're never getting out of here. That was the one assurance that I would have been so freaking certain about, y'all. Like, the one thing I would have bet money on, like, there's no way he's getting out. God, sorry, I'm on edge. Every time I watch one of these movies, I live in goddamn Los Angeles where there's never freaking silence, so every freaking noise I hear is like, I'm checking my corners, y'all. I'm checking everything. That's why I was so torn. I was like, what? Should I be fearing for Clarice's life right now? You know, is she in danger? You assume so, because she disobeyed every single warning that they gave her of don't divulge any personal private information. Do not give him anything to mentally, emotionally manipulate you with. Don't give him anything to read into. She didn't even have to fork over that much. It almost was like this weird possessive, you know, she was like transfixed the more she's divulging to him, and he's this weird, they have this strange symbiotic relationship where he is like vampiric in a way. He doesn't want her flesh, he doesn't want her for cannibalistic purposes, but he's feeding off of her. You know, she becomes a victim to him in a way, and he's, you know, fueled off of, you know, the fact that he can read through this trauma. The whole time I was questioning, why is he keeping her on this trail? Why is he establishing this Easter egg hunt for her? It's because he knew that at the end of the tunnel, you know, this was like the solution for all her, you know, suppressed trauma and all of the bottled up, you know, childhood memories that she's probably never divulged to anyone else. Hence the symbiotic nature of their weird connection here. You know, he's feeding off of this, and you can tell he's relishing every second of the fact that he knows he's able to dissect her from one look at her. He's able to read her like an open book, and she on the other side of the bulletproof glass is sharing all of this repressed shiz, you know, emotional trauma that she's probably never divulged to anybody else, because look at who she is. She's an aspiring FBI officer raised by, you know, a police officer in a male-dominated field. Like, you can't let your freaking guard down in her position. She cannot show a freaking moment of weakness. She doesn't have that benefit, that luxury, you know, so of course she naturally is keeping this suppressed, you know, in her aspirations here, and it wouldn't serve her well to get vulnerable probably and share that information with anyone. You know, that's made it very, very clear that she already has enough challenges cut out for her, obstacles, of course, and, you know, the time in which this was made, and even still, you know, to be a woman in a male-dominated field. Also, I can't believe I didn't notice this obviously at the time, but upon rewatching, they literally put it right in front of you at the very beginning of this when they introduce her character, and she is literally executing like an obstacle course right out of the gate. At the time, I didn't really even think anything of that, but of course now I think that's just a subtle recognition of the uphill battle that she has ahead of her in her career here, and how, yes, the professional FBI agent within her probably recognizes with every fiber of her being that divulging all of this to Hannibal is like the last thing she should be doing. But the unhealed child within herself who's never been able to confide in anyone, this is the most healing she's ever been able to do. She bottled that shiz up, locked it, and threw away the key, and so this is the first time that she's, you know, divulging this trauma that's clearly been haunting her for this long, and it's to a freaking serial killer. You know, they definitely both were feeding off of each other in some very weird ways, and in a weird, twisted way, he did offer her something that she's probably desperate for, like, help me find a way to freaking succeed here, like, this is my this is my key to my future. This is a huge opportunity for her. But of course, I'm sure she's riddled with the doubts of why would they have chosen me for this, you know, in the first place. You know, what is it about me? Oh, is it because I'm a girl? Is it because I'm, you know, part of the demographic of, you know, maybe Hannibal's victims or whatever? You know, they think that I would be appealing to him in some weird twisted way, and that he would fork over some beneficial information that we can use in, you know, our active ongoing cases. You know, she's already riddled with all that self-doubt, questioning why she was even cut out for this, handpicked for this in general. It's a huge big task, so I'm sure he could smell that on her immediately. Like, she put on a confident front, but it was just incredible to see how much she deteriorated, you know, every time she, you know, met up with him, to the point that she just let her guard down and gave him everything. And then afterwards, you know, she had nothing left necessarily to give and is desperate for, you know, I've divulged all of my personal trauma to you. Please just freaking help me here, because everyone is doubting me and I know that you have the freaking answer. Please, for the love of God, just tell me. And I know I kept referencing Mindhunter, especially in the beginning, but it was very similar to their relationships, you know, between Holden, I think, is, you know, Jonathan Groff's character in that show. And I do believe that show predates, the timeline rather predates, you know, the 90s here in which this was made, and I imagine takes place. But that is all about the introduction of the idea, you know, the proposition of, hey, maybe we can actually have something to learn from, you know, our incarcerated serial killers who could have this absolute just treasure trove of psychological data that we can use in order to, you know, try to get a read, try to like classify, you know, ongoing serial killers, you know, that are still at large. I guess it's more so Mindhunter is like Silence of the Lambs, because this obviously came first, but this, having watched this after watching that show, they're very similar, and I wasn't expecting that, but that's why I was like, there's gotta be some sort of similar rabbit hole that she falls in where you develop this weird fixation. You know, maybe it's because it's, you know, alluring in a way because you know it's wrong. You know you should be doing anything but feeding this freaking, you know, psychopath, serial killer, Hannibal Lecter, your personal freaking repressed childhood trauma. You should probably do that with literally anyone but him. But he read her like a book, and that's what's, you know, that created this kind of magnetism between the two of them, and that was reflected in the way this was shot. You know, it was so hypnotic, and I was just transfixed. You have these long ongoing shots where they're both just staring straight into camera, you know, breaking the fourth wall, actually, really. You know, the camera is the viewer, and we are in this back and forth weird, like, hypnotic, you know, state with them as they're having this dialogue, but they never break their focus. You know, they are both equally, you know, fixated on each other. You know, it was so intense, and that it keeps you freaking like engrossed. Couldn't take my eyes away, and that's what I was excited about with this freaking movie, and it delivered. I was like, yes, I have no idea necessarily what the story is. I knew there were some true crime elements, and of course Hannibal Lecter and all of that stuff, but the one thing that I was hoping for and counting on were some really intense, just gripping moments of dialogue just between the two of them that can keep you on the edge of your seat. And I was already so like fixated and focused on those. Like, they were so intense, and it was purely just really fast-paced dialogue back and forth between the two of them as they're getting on the same wavelength, or rather as Clarissa lets her guard down entirely and just divulges everything to Hannibal and is kind of just word vomiting her whole past, but he's, you know, reading into it and reading deeper and deeper into her freaking, you know, subconscious of, I know exactly what you're trying to liberate yourself from. I know exactly what you dream about, or rather what you have nightmares about at night. Like, that in a way is, I'm sure, cathartic on her end, and for him, you know, he's just freaking feeding off of it. But those moments were so gripping, and it was just pure dialogue. So when we got to the end and the action actually like kicked in, and then Clarissa's like on her own in a way, you know, Hannibal's kind of been leaving her these breadcrumbs and like holding her hand through this, you know, she's been seeking out his guidance to piece things together, you know, as he's giving her clue after clue. So when you see her on her own, you know, after she's already been so weakened, let all her walls down, shared everything she possibly can, you know, seeing her in the final sequence here on her own as she, you realize, of course, that wasn't a surprise. I mean, actually, that was the biggest friggin' surprise, that it confirmed what the entire movie has kind of been, hinting at, which is she's kind of like the smartest one in the room. She's very, very bright. Don't freaking underestimate her. And so that freaking bait and switch reveal of when she actually, I'm sorry, I keep checking behind me because I'm like, ugh. But when you realize that she's actually on the right trail and now she's alone with the freaking Buffalo Bill, I felt so freaking terrified because it's like Hannibal's not there to hold her hand anymore. And, we saw that she was in such like a weak state of mind, so desperate, nothing left to lose in a way. And now it's like, yeah, this is a huge career win for her, and as her mentor was saying to her, Crawford, I think, I won't forget this, like, she's got major brownie points for sure. And this is a big deal. But, as soon as she picks up that phone and hears Hannibal's voice on the other end, it's like, all of that is erased and now the fixation's back. And so, yes, I know my instinct, my initial thought was like, holy smokes, I want a freaking sequel, because this relationship between the two of them is so freaking just so good. And to know that he's still out there, to know that he's still at large, it's brilliant. It's almost more just like you're in the same boat as Clarice. You have the satisfaction of this huge win here, but the bigger fish, the bigger obsession was Hannibal all along. And so, you're kind of in the exact same position she's in of, you'll never get that answer. It's like, yeah, of course there's not a freaking sequel. He's going to be elusive forever here. The fact that he got out once, he's not getting back in, y'all. So, you have to just accept that. And I didn't know that this ends with him freaking, I just never thought, I've only ever seen, of course I've seen a few clips or images from this movie over the years, and the only ones I've ever really seen that I recognize are him with the freaking mask on his face in a straitjacket. Like, I never thought this man actually gets out. Just gotta live with that, just like Clarice. And that she'll just always be wondering, always toiling over where he freaking is, maybe looking over her shoulder, maybe not. She said in a weird way, I think he respects me too much, or at least I think that was the subtext of he might see that as disrespectful to come after me. For me, the highlight was the relationship between Clarice and Hannibal, and the ways that they, again, I keep saying symbiotic, but they, in weird twisted ways, they fed off of and mutually benefited from, one another. That's when it got exciting for me, when I realized that he's reaping some sort of weird benefits of this, from her. It wasn't one-sided. There was a two-way street there. Like, yes, she was offering him, bartering, his freedom, or at least, transfer to a more ideal facility, or mental hospital rather. But I don't think he was in it for all that. I think he still genuinely cared about her being on the chase, leaving the breadcrumbs for her. I think he did genuinely, in some weird way, want her to solve that. But yeah, this is that's on me that it took me this long. This makes me want to rewatch Mindhunter, because it is such an interesting dynamic of these bright-eyed FBI agents, or rather, as we see in Mindhunter, Holden starts off very freaking optimistic on the venture, similarly to Clarice here, of getting more of a psychological analysis, a psychological read of these serial killers and what you can learn from them. And that is what's interesting about the dynamic, for somebody in Clarice's position, an FBI cadet with everything to prove. Somebody like Hannibal does have so many answers, so much that you can actually learn from and weaponize for yourself, for your own career, and it freaking worked out in her freaking favor. So similarly for Hannibal, of course, it was just very interesting how they really frame it and introduce his character. You hear about his crimes and his track record, and they do a lot of storytelling by withholding. I know I was trying to comment on that when they were in the morgue, but when she's presented with the photograph of what he did to a nurse the last time that he got too close to freedom, or that they let their guard down, and the doctor presents Clarice with the Polaroid, and you can only imagine he's describing her teeth, her eye sockets, and it doesn't show you, but you can only imagine. You're introduced to Hannibal with all his crimes, with all of that kind of like physical, gory, horrifying violence of his past. And yes, I was afraid in the beginning of, oh God, don't get too close to him, but you start to realize it's more terrifying of what he's like mentally capable of. I became gradually less and less afraid for Clarice physically being in his presence, and more so petrified for what she was allowing him to unlock, you know, mentally. I can finally breathe normally again. I've re-achieved equilibrium, but oh my god, I'm so glad I reacted to this one and finally freaking watched this movie. Oh god. And this was like a nice, I don't know, it still was really scary. I still was freaking real scared there at the end. But this was kind of like a nice reprieve from, you know, it's not necessarily gory or being chased by a chainsaw scary or jump scare or any of that stuff. Yes, it's scary with the true crime of it all. And yeah, as my mom said, that was upsetting. But this was a fun kind of reset because it's scary in different ways. The terror that you feel for Clarice establishing this relationship with Hannibal, and the terror of knowing what he's capable of and that he has ways of, you know, messing with you mentally. I'm really stoked right now. I'm so glad that I watched this. I wish I'd done it sooner, but I'm glad I saved it here for Reactober. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching this one with me. I'll catch you guys again in the next one. The home stretch is here, y'all. We have just a few left. I am hanging on by a thread. I will catch you guys in the next one. But until then, I hope you guys are doing so well as always. And I will see you guys again very, very soon. Bye, guys.